As the youth pastor, I love working with young people because they seem to always have their finger on the pulse of what needs to change in culture. Over 3,000 years ago, King Josiah, who was probably the youngest king in Israel, he initiated changes based on the injustices that were going on in Israel. Well, we have put together a video, and each video is done by a youth here at Grace, and each one starts with Dear America. So here we go.
Dear America, I want to live in a world where racism isn't a conversation we have to have. I want to live in a world where people who say that they love thy neighbor as themselves does not pick and choose. And I want to live in a world where me and my siblings don't have to worry about where we're going because of the color of our skin.
Dear America, as times so hard like right now, we should all lean on God and pray and know that we will get through this and we stand together.
Dear America, I am afraid to be in the skin that I'm in. I'm afraid to be outside in public settings. I'm afraid that my actions, despite how harmless they may be, will be misinterpreted and I will be attacked. I'm afraid to leave my home. I am afraid of police. I don't know who's good, who's bad. Anytime I've ever been in a traffic stop, I have never been in more fear of my life.
Dear America, black is beautiful and the color of my skin is not a weapon. Every day there's another story and another innocent black life taken from its community. And it seems to be never ending. We need to stop being so closed-minded and ignorant towards the struggles that black people face on a daily basis. During these times, we need to rise up and fight for the rights that we deserve. God didn't make us to be against each other. He loves everybody for who they are, no matter their skin color. And wouldn't you want to be the same? We need to stop this unnecessary built-up hatred towards people of color and love everybody as they are. Black Lives Matter.
Hello, America. This is my message on how we need to make a change. As a nation, we claim to be the home of opportunity and the home of freedom, and yet it seems though a certain race has more opportunity than others. It's sad to me that simply because I am white, I have more opportunity and I have a privilege in this nation. 57 years ago, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. stated in his I Have a Dream speech that he dreamed that one day all people would be not judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. And yet 57 years later, his dream still hasn't come true. So as a white person in the United States, I find it very important to use my privilege to make this change happen. That soon, hopefully in my lifetime, his dream comes true, that all people will be treated equally.
Dear America, it is extremely frustrating that African Americans are continuing to go through oppression, and it's been over 400 years of oppression. Being a young African American man, it is hard and difficult and overwhelming to see all the stuff going on TV, realizing that every single day as I live my life, I have an added burden on me just because of the color of my skin. I just want to have a family one day, and I'm really scared for the conversation I'm going to have with my son or daughter about how to live their life and how they have to live a little differently because of the color of their skin. I just hope one day people can open their hearts and have kinder hearts and learn to love one another and not treat people differently because of the color of their skin. I hope that young African American people are able to get the education, the same proper education as others are getting, same opportunities. This is something that I hope can improve, and we all have to learn to unite in a time like this and love one another. And together we can get through these pressing issues.
Dear America, there is no more looking away. The deep-rooted racism that plagues our country must be addressed and attacked. It is up to all of us to challenge ourselves and do the uncomfortable work to reform our broken society. It is just simply not okay that our African American brothers and sisters are persecuted solely off their skin color. It is not okay that mothers have to grieve the loss of their sons because of senseless, hateful acts. It is not okay that George Floyd or Breonna Taylor lost their life. It is not okay that a racist is the leader of our country. We have an opportunity to make a change, to spread love, and come together as one. It is up to us.
Dear America, I know times are hard for all of us right now, but now's the time for us to stand together and not make times any harder for one group of people, simply because of the color of their skin. Choose to be kind.
Dear America, it's time to stop standing by and allowing racism to exist in our society. It's no longer enough to just not be racist. We must be actively anti-racist. If you're a witness of acts of racism, cultural biases, microaggressions, etc., and you don't speak up, you are a part of the problem. It has been really encouraging to see so many people across the country come together and fight back against a broken system that's been around for far too long. And it's not just about a knee being on a black man's neck for 8 minutes. It's about a knee that's been on their neck for over 400 years. Enough is enough. It's time to make a change. Black Lives Matter.